What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. I have been knee deep in some bullshit here. Okay, I have, this is the chimney outside of our house, and we have old vinyl siding that that was coming off on here. Found out that it was actually leaking and rotted out some of the wood in here, so I had to sister up some pieces here, and they use insulation board instead of actually plywood, which is cheaper. Well, no, it's not actually cheaper. It's quicker for the construction companies, but it doesn't have a whole lot of strength. So when you have something like this cantilevered out there, it's actually not that strong because the plywood ends up giving it strength. So instead of putting back on rigid insulation, I'm putting on sheathing, and I'm having to go through and re-insulate this because the insulation all fell. It's just bad. But that's not why I'm here. But I'm kind of telling you why I have been not doing a lot of videos so far today, because I've been busy trying to get this thing put back together. And I've got to go back to the red brick house tomorrow, so I need to get this thing done. And we're going to be live streaming, of course, tonight. But I've been thinking about this for a bit. One of the things that happened with this game that we just had, Dak Prescott was not sacked. Some of that was Dak Prescott being elusive, but a lot of that was the offensive line was keeping him upright. And maybe the offensive line has coalesced and said, you know, bro, we went through you without you last year. We can't have that this year, man. We got to do everything to keep you upright. Kind of like what the Miami Dolphins did with Tua. With Tua getting all those concussions, they kind of said, bro, we got to protect you, man. We got to make sure that nobody touches you. And they had kind of a pact that we're going to make sure, you know, that we take the hits so you don't have to. And I don't know if the Cowboys players have done that, but definitely the team is truly Dak Prescott's team, and they have coalesced around him bigly. I'm exhausted. So one of the things that's been kind of missed between last year and this year is Cooper Beebe. Okay, last year was bad. Nobody want to think about anybody supposedly looking good, because everybody's like, man, they all look like ass. But Cooper Beebe last year had, I want to say, 3 or 4 games that he did not give up a single pressure. Okay, not a single one. Okay, and was one of the best rookie offensive linemen last year, and doesn't get a whole lot of credit. Now, see, here's the thing about offensive linemen. Generally speaking, you don't hear anything about them unless they screw up. And so, you know, last year we heard a lot of Terrence Steele because he was screwing up. When they play well, they're unknown. They're like the unknown soldier. Well, yesterday, Cooper Beebe was the highest rated offensive lineman we had when it came to quarterback pressure. Here's what's really great about what Cooper Beebe did. Cooper Beebe on designed pass plays, okay? Now, understand, that doesn't count screen passes. See, when you pass block for a screen pass, what you're trying to do is sucker in the defensive lineman, okay? You set up like you're pass blocking, right? And you try and hold them for like 1 count. And then you act like, oh, they just been past me. So that way they get sucked into the quarterback. Then you run out to the flat, make sure you don't go across the line until after the ball's thrown, because then you're an eligible receiver down the field. So you set up the pass block, and you go 1001, and then you let them go. 1001, let them go. So those don't count. But on the actual pass plays that Dak Prescott had that weren't screens, not a single pressure was given up to that front line of the Eagles. That's insane. That's not insane. It's actually a great thing. The Cowboys got a great one in Cooper Beebe. And Cooper Beebe is going to anchor that offensive line, provided there aren't any illnesses or injuries, for a very, very long time. And you have to, if you're going to kill the Cowboys for making moves like they did, trading Micah Parsons, and we'll see how that works out, if we end up doing well with it. But understand this. Two of the starters that we have on our offensive line, and Tyler Guyton played well coming back from injury, and seems like he has turned things around where he just needed more reps out there. You got Cooper Beebe by trading back with your first round pick. Guys, think about that. You traded back, drafted Tyler Guyton, and with the extra pick, picked up Cooper Beebe. Bro, you have to look at right now the way that Cooper Beebe is playing is like he's a first round drafted offensive lineman. Yeah. You have to look at that, because when you're talking about, 4 games into his 18-game career, he's given up not a single pressure. Not saying a sack, a pressure in like 4 games. You got to start saying that that's pretty damn good for the young guy, and that we finally have the replacement for Travis Frederick. And so if you had just drafted that guy in the first round, you've been okay. You would have looked at that and said, hey, that's great. Flying into Fort Belvoir. You would have said, that's great. But you also got Tyler Guyton. Now, the Cowboys make a whole lot of mistakes. They do. And Jerry Jones gets a lot of flack about being the GM. But you got a 2-for-1 with your first round pick. If you can pull off some shit like that, because Micah Parsons, they did the same thing. Micah Parsons, they traded back and they got Golston. Yeah, you got a 2-for-1 on that. If the Cowboys can do some shit like that, man, we're going to be good to go. But we have to look at our offensive line. In week 1, they played outstanding. They played outstanding. They did everything you needed to do to win, including opening up holes for our running backs that may not be like Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. But they were doing that shit. So, yeah, I'm happy about those guys. I think I'm going to call it a day. And I'll just get up early in the morning, do my morning video, and get this thing closed up first thing. And then if I get one more piece of plywood up on the top edge here, cover that up. And if I can run this side all the way up, I got to do some more framing work, because some of the framing work they put on 24-inch centers, it wasn't good because it didn't hold the insulation. I ended up framing it to make sure it's at 16 and making sure that the insulation is stapled up in there real good. And I need to do the same thing here. If I can get that sheathing up there and then the house wrap on it, I can go take care of business down at the Red Brick House and have the house wrap on this, and then come back and do the siding. So I think that's what we're going to do. All right, you good people. I'm going to get ready for Monday Night Football and live streaming. Peace.